Tonight on To The Point, Highlands Community Charter and Technical Schools admitting to attendance errors following an ABC 10 investigation.
We know that we made an error in our ADA report, but we know right now we're losing $13 million.
What this means for the future of the school.
Tonight, the latest on California's insurance crisis. Here at the state capitol, lawmakers asked the insurance commissioner some tough questions, and so did we.
Plus, lawmakers halt a bill that could reverse the state's controversial low fuel standard, the concerns about gas prices, and cracking down on illegal dumping, how Sacramento city leaders are working to increase security.
Good evening. Thank you so much for joining us on To The Point. I'm Alex Bell. Tonight, the latest on California's insurance crisis as state lawmakers grilled the insurance commissioner himself. He shared an update on what he is doing and how soon Californians might feel relief. ABC 10's Becca Habegger was in the room and brings us the update tonight.
California Insurance Commissioner Ricardo Lara was in the hot seat as members of the Assembly Insurance Committee asked him what he is doing to fix California's insurance crisis. In an informational hearing lasting 2 hours, they covered a lot of ground.
And to ensure that
This is the fourth time Commissioner Lara has testified before the Assembly Insurance Committee, providing updates on his response to the state's insurance crisis and fielding questions from lawmakers.
When I talk to constituents, the two things they want to know is, number one, am I going to get canceled?
Yep.
And number two, how much are my rates going to go up?
we're tracking to make sure that these companies meet the letter of the law when it comes to non-renewals and cancellations. And so anybody who feels that they've been unfairly canceled, they can call our department and we're on it.
LADA's sustainable insurance strategy, fully implemented by the end of last year, gives insurance companies tools they've been wanting for years. Remember, in California, insurance companies must get approval from the Department of Insurance for any rate increases. The new tools under LADA's plan allow them to include their cost of reinsurance, basically insurance for insurers, in their reasoning for a rate hike, previously not allowed. They'll also be newly allowed to use forward-looking catastrophe modeling to predict their increased risk due to factors like wildfires.
My strategy prepares us for the future.
In exchange for access to those tools, insurers are required to increase the number of policies they write in wildfire-prone areas, as defined by the Department of Insurance.
These commitments from insurers to write more policies, particularly in distressed areas, will enhance insurance availability and eventually get us to affordability.
So when will the tide turn for consumers?
I'm hopeful that by 2026, we'll start seeing some stabilization of our market.
In a news conference after the hearing, I asked the commissioner,
what encouragement do you have to homeowners who say, okay, 2026, we might see some meaningful change. I can't wait till 2026. What's your encouragement for them?
I would tell consumers that with the key reforms that we've made, my goal is to make sure that the market stabilizes by 2026. We'll see some rate stabilization. Consumers will have more tools to be able to understand the risk and mitigate with the risk. And so we look forward to doing that. Of course, I have to give the caveat, this also depends on any future catastrophes, any earthquakes, floods, or other wildfires that we may suffer in the future.
He also stressed the importance of fire mitigation on properties and in communities.
I'll tell you the three things that we need to focus on in the legislature is mitigation, mitigation, mitigation for the old housing stock.
Assemblymember James Gallagher asked Commissioner Lara whether he would work with the Trump administration to find solutions for the insurance crisis here in California. Commissioner Lara said absolutely. In Sacramento, Becca Habegger, ABC 10.
The California Department of Insurance says it is currently auditing the FAIR Plan. That's the high-cost bare-bones fire insurance of last resort. That report is due out later this year. And the To The Point team spent months digging into the home insurance crisis, hearing from homeowners, Congress members, and the insurance commissioner about how we got to this point and what could be done to help. You can stream this special investigation right now on the ABC 10 Plus app. Just look for California's insurance crisis right on the home screen. New tonight, a bill aimed at reversing the recent amendments to the low carbon fuel standard has died in a committee hearing. Back in November, the California Air Resources Board, or CARB, passed the LCFS amendments with a goal of lowering the state's greenhouse gas emissions. But critics believe the amendments would raise gas prices by as much as 65 cents per gallon. Senate Bill 2 was introduced by Republican Senator Brian Jones and would reverse CARB's recent amendments. But during Wednesday's Senate Environmental Quality Committee hearing, Democratic lawmakers voted against it.
I think that there's enough information and data that basically shows that there is no relation between the two. And, we want to be able to lower prices. This is just not the way to do it, but thank you.
Well, maybe afterwards we'll compare notes on who you are reading that says it doesn't and who I'm reading that says it does.
In a statement, Jones says it is frustrating, but initially his bill did receive bipartisan support. Just last month, the Office of Administrative Law rejected the amendments to the LCFS, citing it needs more clarity. CARB was given 120 days to make those necessary changes. New details tonight in our Wild West of Education investigation. Highlands Community Charter and Technical Schools is admitting to one of the most concerning issues ABC 10 exposed over the last 2 years of our reporting, and that's attendance errors. ABC 10 investigative reporter Andy Judson joins us tonight in studio with more.
Yeah, Alex, more than 40 sources have told us Highlands Community Charter and Technical Schools misreported attendance, a serious issue since the school receives taxpayer dollars based on those numbers. Now Highlands says it's paying back millions, and this may be just the beginning of the consequences for the school.
So we know that we made an error in our ADA report.
Nearly $13 million. That's how much Highlands Community Charter and Technical Schools says it's paying back to the state for attendance errors.
We know right now we're losing $13 million.
That's just for one school year. Highlands admitted it made attendance errors in 2021-2022.
Attendance is basically equal money.
That means millions in public funds were wrongly paid out. The finding came after an audit by Twin Rivers Unified, the oversight agency for Highlands. When ABC 10 reached out to Highlands and Twin Rivers Unified, neither responded to our questions. Highlands previously and repeatedly denied ABC 10's findings, going as far as threatening to sue us.
Highlands reserves the right to sue ABC 10 for monetary damages.
Twin Rivers Superintendent Stephen Martinez has repeatedly avoided ABC 10's questions.
Do you mind if we just ask you a couple questions? Do you want to hear if you have any sort of response to all the teachers that came directly to you and spoke to you on the board today?
So we turned to Tom Hutton for insight. He's the executive director of California Charter Authorizing Professionals, a nonprofit working with school districts and county offices of education on oversight of charter schools.
The more common scenario I've seen is the state says, based on this error, we need you to come back with this kind of money.
But that's not the case here. Instead, Highlands is choosing to pay back nearly $13 million, a big sum for one school year, Hutton said.
I haven't encountered sort of the voluntary, based on that, we're just going to refund the money.
Highlands' decision raises more questions, like whether the problem goes beyond 1 year.
How many months of ADA across students, across classrooms was misreported?
More than 40 current and former employees tell ABC 10 attendance problems go back as far as 2018.
But I was being given lists of students, sometimes 20 to 30 a week, new students, all the time, adding to my roster and adding to my class. And then a lot of them wouldn't attend. I never had met them or they had never attended.
Some employees say they were even pushed to fabricate records.
And so we'd have to, let's say, magically come up with their work samples. Fabrication, yeah.
Issues at Highlands go beyond attendance. Over the past 2 years, ABC 10 uncovered lavish spending, including school leaders staying at 5-star resorts like the Ritz-Carlton in Hawaii.
Those places aren't vacations.
As well as overcrowded classrooms, uncredentialed teachers, allegations of nepotism and excessive leadership salaries, plus millions spent on attorneys and consultants.
Who are these consultants that are getting so much money?
These issues, as well as concerns about attendance, are being probed into by the California State Auditor. After ABC 10's investigation, the entity launched a sweeping audit into Highlands, its affiliated nonprofit, the Doc Smith Legacy Foundation, and its oversight agency, Twin Rivers Unified. The state audit has been underway for months and is expected to drop this summer. So what comes next for Highlands? Whether more money will have to be paid back or if more serious consequences are coming, all eyes are on that audit, while ears are on a bigger conversation about California's charter school systems.
It's a very hot topic statewide about hard questions about how we do the oversight in situations like that.
And one entity that's watching what comes from that state audit is the California Department of Education. In a statement to ABC 10, the agency said it appreciates Highlands' acknowledgement of wanting to comply with the law, but vows to continue pushing for accountability and the appropriate use of funds. Alex?
Andy, thank you so much. And you can watch all episodes of The Wild West of Education right now on our ABC 10 Plus streaming app. It is completely free to download to your TV. Still ahead on To the Point, cracking down on illegal dumping. The new technology Sacramento City leaders just approved to help combat the issue.
We've got some showers on the way over the next few hours. Tomorrow's the first day of spring, but I'll tell you what, we've got 80s on the way for next week. Forecast coming up.
Plus, tighter rules for Social Security recipients, why you may soon have to visit an office in person. All right, let's bring in meteorologist Brendan Minchef with a look at our forecast. We have some rain moving into some areas, I hear, starting pretty soon, actually, right?
Yeah, we're already seeing some showers out in the coastal range, and we're going to get some over the next couple of hours, but that's about it. This is a very quick moving system compared to what we had just a couple of days ago. So taking a look at radar and satellite, you can see the rain starting to move into far northern California. Bay Area starting to get some showers as well. Here in the valley, not much just yet. Nothing up in the high country. Plenty of clouds. Wind starting to gust a little bit as well. But there's not much here with this system. I mean, you can already kind of see the back end of it, which means it's basically this line that's coming through and not much beyond that. So here we go on Futurecast. By about 8 o'clock, there's that line of rain moving across the valley. We'll start to see snow picking up in the high country by the time we get to about 9-10. And then honestly, by midnight, it's already starting to taper off. By about 2 o'clock in the morning, just a few scattered snow showers out there. Already seeing some clearing in the valley, but we'll keep some clouds through the overnight. We're not going to get completely clear. By tomorrow morning, rain and snow is over. Widespread mix of clear skies and clouds continue tomorrow, but no more rain through Thursday. And in fact, this is likely the last time we'll see rain for about a week or so before we start talking rain chances again. Not much in terms of rainfall totals, 1/10, maybe 2/10 in some places, especially as you get closer to the foothills. But again, that's it. I mean, we were talking almost an inch of rain with the last few systems. Now we're talking a few hundreds to about 1/10 or so. In terms of snow in the high country, most of that snow on Interstate 80 or to the north, talking 2 to 4 inches across Interstate 80 at the high passes. That's about it. Low temperatures Thursday morning. Here we go. 43 Sacramento, 45 Stockton, 46 in Modesto, 39 Placerville, 40 in Jackson. Again, showers winding down, and by the time the sun comes up, we should be dry across Northern California. Mix of sun and clouds tomorrow afternoon. 64 in Marysville, 64 Sacramento, 64 in Stockton, 64 Modesto as well, 55 Placerville, 45 in Truckee. The average high 68, so we're going to be quite a bit below average tomorrow once again, but the warm-up is coming. We'll be in the 70s Saturday and Sunday, then look at Monday and Tuesday. High temperatures in the 80s. Those would be the first 80-degree days we've seen since late October, Alex.
Next, on To the Point, the state of the economy. The Federal Reserve keeping interest rates the same, what this means for your bottom line. Plus, illegal dumping plaguing some Sacramento neighborhoods. The steps city leaders are taking to crack down on offenders.
Our free ABC 10 Plus TV streaming app has so much to offer. Get your news live and on demand 24/7, so you can watch the news when you want. There's breaking news, extended forecast, and so much more. We have everything you need to get through your day and ready for the weekend. We've got you covered on money-saving tips, travel, entertainment, and sports. Download the free ABC 10 Plus app on your smart TV and popular streaming devices like Roku, Amazon Fire TV, and more. ABC 10. We stand for you 24/7.
The city of Sacramento is close to making a change in its fight against illegal dumping. We told you back in February how hundreds of calls were made to the city by neighbors who say piles of trash and unwanted items are being left right in their neighborhood. After years of unreliable cameras, the city is turning to a new vendor to help catch the people responsible. ABC 10's Garjwal Sangha explains.
It is a simple act of kindness.
I saw it, I came over, started cutting it.
For Yes Rael, cutting his neighbor's grass, it is more than just a chore.
That's just being a good neighbor.
The South Natomas neighborhood has seen its fair share of illegal dumping, hoping to find this dump truck with this cargo box up and dumping household trash and debris. The city says in the past year, they have received more than 11,000 reports of illegal dumping, and were only able to investigate nearly 1,500 of it.
Illegal dumping really is an insult to the neighborhood.
But the city's efforts to catch those responsible has been hampered by outdated and unreliable surveillance systems. The city says one of the vendor systems kept going offline and sometimes failing to capture crucial video footage, limiting the ability to track down and prosecute illegal dumpers.
There's apparently been some shortcomings in the previous arrangement. So with the new contract, we hope we'll get reliable service.
Tuesday, city leaders cleared the way for staff to sign a 5-year contract with the new vendor, MSC Integration, to the tune of $300,000. Councilmember Roger Dickinson, who represents District 2, which includes some of the hotspots for illegal dumping in North Sacramento.
Make sure we've got effective techniques to identify those who engage in illegal dumping.
The new system is expected to be rolled out soon, many hoping it will curb illegal dumping across the capital city. Neighbors like Yes Rael are doing their part.
Keeps the neighborhood looking good. It also deters crime.
Reporting in Sacramento, Garjwal Sangha, ABC 10.
And the city says the local surveillance company was picked because it provides more reliable hardware and software that should make it a little bit easier to capture video footage and also catch offenders. Turning to your price points tonight, the Social Security Administration will soon tighten identity verification for millions of recipients and applicants. Beginning on March 31st, people will no longer be able to verify their identity over the phone to SSA. Those who cannot verify their identity with the agency's online service will be required to visit an agency field office in person to complete the verification process. The change will apply to new and existing recipients. Advocates warn it will negatively impact older Americans in rural areas.
It really sounds like it's going to be very difficult on our seniors and our disabled folks. I just had 2 people this week so far who had called that they're trying to get real IDs for their senior loved ones who have either memory impairment or physical disabilities.
Others believe the changes are worth it to help cut down on fraud. All of this comes as the agency plans to close dozens of Social Security offices throughout the country and has already laid out plans to lay off thousands of workers. The Federal Reserve today decided to keep interest rates steady amid economic uncertainty. That means the cost to borrow money for things like mortgages and auto loans is not changing. The decision comes as President Trump's announcements on tariffs sent the stock market into turmoil, created fears of a recession, and complicated the Fed's approach. Right now, interest rates sit at around 4.5%. The Fed is signaling relief may come later this year.
Given where we are, we think our policy is in a good place to react to what comes, and we think that the right thing to do is to wait here for greater clarity about what the economy is doing.
The Fed cut interest rates 1% last year. They are expected to make cuts again later this year. Their next opportunity to do so is in May. The clock is ticking for more than 1 million people to claim money owed to them by the IRS. This is because they did not submit a 2021 tax return. It's estimated more than 116,000 people in California qualify. The IRS says the median refund is about $781 and could include their $1,400 stimulus check from the pandemic-era relief program. You have until April 15th to submit a return for unclaimed funds. Otherwise, the money becomes the property of the U.S. Treasury. Next, on To the Point. If you're looking to get a passport, we have more details on an event that's happening this weekend that could help you out. All right, before we go here, if you're looking to get a head start on your summer travel plans, Sacramento is hosting a passport fair this Saturday. It's happening from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. on H Street. The event is for those looking to submit applications for new passports. Again, that's new passports only. Passport agents will be there to help assist with the process. Appointments are recommended, and you can find all of this information and how to make your appointment on our website, abc10.com/links. As always, thank you so much for watching and for inviting us into your home. If you have something that you think we should be looking into, you already know what to do. Reach out to me and the team. You can always email us at tothepoint@abc10.com. And remember, strangers are just people we haven't gotten the chance to meet yet. So take the time to get to know someone. And To the Point does not end here. You can always watch the stories featured on our show. Just download our free ABC 10 Plus streaming app straight to your TV. Have a great night. See you tomorrow.